So, welcome to the Be the Spark Movement July conversation, which is all about mindfulness. And we have, I've been putting some things out, some little challenges for the past 7 days about how people can be more mindful, from really paying attention in the shower, feeling the water and the soap on your skin, to being grounded or paying attention to the conversation that you're having with another human being. So, welcome to the mindfulness conversation. And if you guys will just bear with me and let's take a few breaths and just become to be present for um, a little meditation. All right. So feel into your seat wherever you're seated. Close your eyes and just notice your breath as you breathe all the way to your toes, your fingertips, to the crown of your head. Just take this time to notice the air on your skin, any sounds in the background. Just let them blend into your day, into your mind. Scanning your body to see how your body feels. Maybe you need to shift in your seat. Maybe you need to take a deeper breath. And then let's bring our attention to our feet and have some gratitude for where your feet take you, the stability within your steps. Bringing attention to your fingertips, having gratitude for all they do for you on a daily basis, from driving to feeding you to doing your work. And then bring attention to your heart and that gratitude for that your heart keeps beating, keeping you alive, allowing you to feel. Then bring attention to your mind and gratitude for your creativity, your thoughts that lead to your actions. Take one more deep, deep breath all the way to your toes and let it go. And then when you're ready, open your eyes. All right. How did that feel, everybody?
Good.
Refreshing.
Refreshing.
Yeah.
Yes, it brings us back to the present moment.
Mm-hmm. I like what you
And
said about the walking. To your feet. I was walking the other day after exercise. I always walk afterwards just to clear my head. And I started thinking how fortunate I am that we take it for granted. It's like bike riding. Once you learn how to do it, you don't think about it anymore. But walking, we had to learn how to walk. And just
true.
the thing of being able to walk around for a mile or so, however far I went, I started thinking, I was really thankful for that. And I had never really reflected on that until a couple of days ago. So you bringing that up, yeah, brought that back up to me.
It's funny how those little repetitive things happen too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of mindfulness too, is recognizing when these things like come up time and time again. You're like, okay, what should I be paying attention to?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how does incorporating mindfulness in your day help you live a better life?
I don't know if Jimmy wants to jump in first. I feel like I talk too much, so you guys jump in there. I'll jump
You
in.
don't talk too much.
Okay. Can I get the question again?
Yeah, just how is practicing mindfulness in your daily life help improve help improve your life?
Let me see. When I look at my life, I will say I'm mindful about most of the things, especially the previous. Okay, since since 2022, I've been trying to be mindful. If I look way back, I've been trying to be mindful. Most of the things around my life, the activities I do, the people I surround myself with, where I go, and I would say I've managed to detach myself from behaviors that were putting me back, that were destroying me as a person, especially when we come to personal development. I have those things that were laying me back. Okay, I may not be able to share the entire story, but there are those things that were putting me back. Let's say friends. I had ambitions which were just destroying me. I told myself I was developing, I was heading somewhere, but in the right sense, there was no improvement to me. Then you look at priorities. It reached a time when I started to be mindful about what I chose for my life, what career I want to take, I want to pursue, my interests, some of the things which I thought, okay, I was thinking about money most of the times.
Uh-huh.
I drawn my interest into money, and money was a priority to me. I worked my okay. I worked. I didn't want to use some crazy language. Okay, I worked a lot,
Mhm.
whereby it was like exploiting myself in a sense of looking for money, having that anger to get success so fast. So I couldn't mind about my sleep. I remember when we started talking with Kerry during our first month when we started sharing with you. I would stay online up to 1 a.m. And there is a time when she asked me, "When do you sleep?"
Mm.
I was too invested in looking for success, and I thought when I get the money, it means everything. Yet I was missing on some important things that make up life. I was
Mhm.
being mindful about my life. I started drawing. I found people. There is a person I met. He's a friend. He's a doctor. I'd gone to buy sleeping pills. So even though he wanted to make money, because I was going to buy this daily, I had been transferred to another district where I was working. So it was my first time to approach his drug shop. So I went to purchase sleeping pills. The first day he gave me the pills. Then the second day I came through to buy the pills again because it was hard for me to get sleep when I went back to the quarters where I was staying.
Mm.
Then he was called Charles. He's called Dr. Charles. He was concerned as a friend, though he didn't want to offend me. So that day he told me the drugs were not available.
Mm.
He had run out of stock, yet the drugs were available. But this person was trying to be kind, being concerned about me. So the next day I came through, was like, James, to be sincere with you, I have the drugs. Even yesterday I had the drugs with me, but I need to talk to you as a friend. Because the other day when I left, when I did not have the drugs, he was like, "What are you going to do at home?" I was like, "I wanted to go back and sleep, but then you don't have drugs." And he was like, "You stay. You can stay. I'm not too busy." Yet he had even patients to work on. He was having a clinic. So I was like, "Okay, you stay. Let me finish up with this patient. I'm trying to nurse him for the night. Then we can come back and grab supper together." So he got supper for two, and the supper was on him. He was going to pay for the supper. Then I had to stay. I ended up staying for long hours, for over 4 hours. The conversation got interesting. So that day was like, it's really late. Let me get for you, like commuting. So he had a motorcycle. So he drove me to my place, then came back to his place. The next day I came through and he was like, because all he was trying to do was building a ground of friendship, to use that ground to talk to me. Because if he had just talked to me abruptly, since we had just got to know each other, he was not sure whether it was not going to offend me. Then this gentleman, he was older than me a few years. We were still in the 20s. So he talked to me and told me, Jimmy, yesterday I paid attention to our conversation. You have a lot of goals. And I know you're an ambitious person, you're a dedicated person. And for me, I believe one day you are going to achieve this. But as a friend, I have some simple advice for you. You start drawing short term goals and work on those. I know long term goals will come. You would want to focus on the long term goals, but for the starters, as a friend, I urge you to focus to develop short term goals, focus on those, and slowly but slowly you'll get where you want to be. For me, these are his words. For me, I think your sleep. Once you do that, you start having sleep, and then many things will start changing. Because I had a lot of stuff, symptoms that were bothering me, apart from digestion problems, all from exhausting my body. Then it was like drugs were available yesterday, and even today they are there, and I can give you if you want, but it's not good for you.
Mhm.
And I pray, look for other ways of getting sleep. This is not the best option, because once you start this, you are going to get addicted. I know many people who started this. He shared with me stories in a friendly way, and he gave me a prompt. Try to exercise. If you can't exercise, come through at my place. Even though I'm having a huge load of work, I'll get time for you every evening. We we have some conversations, and I know that will refresh your mind. And by the time you head back home, you'll have enough sleep. So from
Mm.
this conversation, I not only get sleep, but it changed my life.
Mm.
It was like an indicator that I had to start being mindful about my life.
Yeah.
Because from the stories, which I might not share because of time, because of the stories he shared with me, how people were struggling, how many people he had worked on, and these people, how they were suffering, and even his kindness, being strangers, despite being strangers, still this this guy was kind to me. This was touching to me, and it was really bad for me. It was like me offending him, offending his generosity, his kindness. So when I went back home, I had to start thinking about my life. Not only thinking about the goals, but also having time to think about my life, being mindful on what I eat, how I sleep, the people,
Mhm.
because I had also isolated myself from people. I was proud in my introvert ways. So maybe to cut long story short, those are some of the things from okay. After discovering that I had to start being mindful about my life, it worked for me. At
Mm.
least from that on, I could get sleep without getting drugs. It saved me from getting into a path which I had no idea where it ended. I started building friends, building circles, good circles. Uh, it was hard for me to have a conversation like this with people, because most of the times I would spend it inside my house, on my phone, in my books, developing strategies on how I will work out my goals. So
Mhm.
being mindful about my life, I, it changed me a lot. It changed the way I think, the way I go about my goals, and how I share with people. Thank
Mm.
you for letting me share. I'll end with that.
Very good. Yeah. Makes all
Thank
the
you.
sense. Yeah, makes all the sense.
Yeah. So before you go, Jeffrey, let's introduce our new guest here. Um, Would you like to introduce yourself? See, he looks like he's stuck. I think he's stuck. So when you get to a place that your internet is working, please just jump in and introduce yourself. All right, Jeffrey, let's hear from you.
Oh no, I was just kind of agreeing with what he said that yeah, mindfulness. And the only thing that anybody wishes for more, to be honest, on their deathbed is time. And for me, mindfulness brought that into consciousness was, this is what, so every bit of time that I have, I try to use it to the best of my advantage, best of my yeah, to the best of my capabilities, try to use it wisely because it's the only thing that we can't get more of. We can make more money. Money can be made and spent and lost and all that, but time, you don't get it back. And so for me, mindfulness is appreciating all the time that we have and using it to the best of our advantage. So that's what Jimmy's conversation, him talking about what he was talking, that brought that up to me. It's important to do and see and experience things that you want to experience, and not make it a stressful thing. Make it an enjoyable thing. It's not long. We don't have a lot of time here, so make it as less stressful as possible, and just enjoy this thing. I think the planet was put here for us to enjoy it, and not just for the 1% to enjoy it, but all of us to enjoy it and to see it and be introduced to family because we're all family. When we cut through all the nonsense, we're all family. So to enjoy and reach out and meet more family. So that's mindfulness for me.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, now to our new guest. He and I met in Morocco,
Oh, okay.
and oh, he's gone again.
I'm the internet.
Yeah, it can be a real pain. Yeah. As for me, mindfulness, especially now that Noah's on here too, but especially now that Neil and I have a grandson,
Mm,
you want time to slow down. He's growing up too fast. I mean, he's only 14 months old, but when he's here, everything is about him,
mm,
and just spending that precious time with him. And, I have to remind myself sometimes to go outside and like look at the sky and feel the grass under my feet and kind of bring me back to that present moment because, we always are checking off to-do lists and need to do this and need to do that. And yeah, we just got to slow down and pay attention.
mhm. Definitely. It goes fast. It does.
Too fast.
Yeah.
So I think my mindfulness is not a daily thing for me, and it's more around me thinking internally. That's how I think of mindfulness. Or how I interact with people and what I'm trying to this accomplish is the right term, but how I'm trying to be viewed by other people and just trying to make I guess a better footprint on the world through my life. And
Mhm.
yeah, it's just I tend my personality. I tend to be kind of short with people or frustrated and things like that. And to try to be mindful of how my actions impact other people, others around me.
Mm,
And it's just something that I continue to work on. And I try to think about it every day before I kind of get started. Just to try to be, probably better today than I was yesterday. So
yeah.
kind of where I'm at, kind of what it means to me.
Mhm.
That's
So,
all we can do, right?
Yep.
yeah.
One day at a time and one improvement at a time.
And
Sure.
Carrie knows I can't plan, so I only know what I'm doing tomorrow. So focus on today.
Yep.
Yep, that's all we can do.
Yeah.
All right. Now, my friend
I
from Morocco. Hi. You want to introduce yourself?
Maybe best for them to
Yeah.
turn video off and just try to talk to us. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you can turn your video off and it may help with the internet connection. It's always a struggle. We'll just jump in at any point you want that you can jump in. So you can interrupt any of us because we want to hear from you. So one of the reasons that I chose mindfulness for this conversation is it is part of what I teach in my self program. And I don't think I think a lot of kids these days are taught mindfulness um, in schools because that has been a thing in the school systems. As I go in the school system to teach, I hear them teach a lot about mindfulness. Um, but I don't think a lot of other people really pay attention to their life and what's going on in their life, even like slowing down to eat and chew your food and taste your food. So I think bringing that into your life where you can slow down and pay attention, and it helps you to understand that I think it can also help like anxiety and stuff because it helps you understand you're safe and you're calm. And even if you become anxious, you can bring yourself back to that mindfulness to where you can calm yourself down. So mindfulness can be used for all kinds of things. And just taking a little bit here and a little bit there and infusing it into your day and into your body.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, there he is. Maybe he's.
Maybe don't leave, Jimmy.
Not coming through.
Yeah. So can you type your name, my friend from Morocco, because I know I'll butcher your name. Can you type your name into the chat if that's possible? So we can all at least see your name since it doesn't look like your video is working very well.
Is he Noah? Who's Noah? Is Noah's a different person?
Noah's my son. Noah's our
Oh,
son.
oh, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Noah said he was having trouble with his audio, so he just wanted to listen
Oh, okay, okay. Hey,
today.
Noah. Okay.
Translate, that means he's playing on a computer.
Probably. He's not practicing mindfulness very well. He's probably
No,
doing two other things.
he's probably doing multiple things at the time.
I think you can rate for your friend from Morocco. You can rate in the chat and maybe share with him on what to do. If we can, if we can mute his video, he can stop his video, then use the audio.
Okay.
I believe we shall get him.
Yeah. Let's see if that'll help him. I'm gonna see if I can spell his name correctly.
How was your trip as far as Morocco, as far as mindfulness? Did it bring you back into did it help you go into your mindfulness a little bit more being in a different place like that, different culture?
Well, he can jump in whenever he can, hopefully. So I met several people in Morocco and I shared the Be the Spark movement with them. So hopefully it'll continue to grow and they can share once they see what it's about. Some have connected with me on WhatsApp, some have connected with me on Facebook or Instagram. So just depending on where they connected with me. So I
Mm,
was hoping some of the girls from Project SOAR would jump on, but maybe next time. Um, so speaking of mindfulness and how we can use mindfulness to improve our world, so I'm going to use the example of Project SOAR. So Project SOAR is a resource that, oh, thank you, Jimmy. Um, Project SOAR is a resource that they have for teen girls, and they're trying to work on not allowing teen marriages in
mm,
Morocco because
mm,
they, I mean, for lack of a better word, they sell these girls off at 13, 14, 15, 16 years old.
mm,
And the girls don't even know that they or haven't in the past known that they can go to college and they can do great things and they can live their dreams.
mm,
So Project SOAR is really taking mindfulness and sharing it with these girls and helping them to discover like what's inside of them. So
mm,
they don't have to listen to all the societal expectations and things that have been generationally perpetuated on women,
mm, mm,
that they can ask themselves, what do I want? What
mm,
do I want in this world? What do I want to be? Where do I want to go? And literally when I walked into the building of Project SOAR, my heart like exploded because the energy in this room, in this building that these girls are attending is so phenomenal.
mm,
They are motivated, they are mindful, and they are ready to change the world. So, yeah, that was one thing that I just wanted to share in this conversation is how Project SOAR is a pretty phenomenal nonprofit and is actually doing stuff that changes the world.
mm.
And that's what we're trying to do, right?
Trying to do. How is the pushback? Because you know, in certain countries that can be really dangerous for a young lady to. So how is the pushback from the societal end of it? Is it going smoothly, or are they getting a lot of pushback from that?
Sometimes the girls have to stop going because their father finds out what's going on.
Mm,
Um, and so they have had girls that have had to drop out. But Melissa and I spoke to several men. Like it was the manager of our Riyadh that we stayed at, and we were telling him about this program, and he actually was all in support of it.
mm,
He shared a story where he had told his dad that his sister no longer needed to go to school. And then he saw how her life played out because she didn't have an education. And literally this gentleman hung his head from the shame that his father listened to him
mm,
and did not let her go to school anymore.
wow,
So I think that there is support. There's probably a lot. I mean, it's the same in our country, right? Where the older generation is like, no, this is how we do stuff, and we're going to hold on to our, we're going to hold on to that generational knowledge or expectation,
mhm,
and we just have to, start being aware of what's going on and how it affects other people.
right.
Um, and so I think a lot of men are like, oh, like there is a way that these women can share their worth with the world and
Yeah.
can share their skills and gifts. So
It
it was
just can,
very eye-opening.
yeah, it just can be just from reading. I haven't been to those places, but just from reading it, I know it can, and having friends from different parts of the world, it can be very dangerous. In some, I'm not saying Morocco, but it can be very dangerous for a woman to want to do other than what society has always had her do. It can be very dangerous. So hopefully Morocco is beyond that and it'll move forward. But it can be very dangerous for a young girl
Yeah.
um, to want to have aspirations, you know.
Is it most of them going there kind of secretly from their families, or they know the families know what they're doing?
For the most part, the families know what they're doing.
Mm,
Okay.
Yeah, and they do support them. So I am and have thought about it being dangerous for them because,
yeah.
people don't like change.
No,
Mhm.
change is a bad word sometimes.
Right.
Mhm.
It
Right.
really, yeah. So
So that's
can't
why
I hope that everything works out.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
I have a quick question. I'm not interrupting. You can answer that later
no, go
when
ahead.
you guys. Okay. Maybe after this, you guys, I want you to share with me on how you practice mindfulness in your daily lives. For me, affirmations are is what I'm having. Through affirmations, it helps me to be mindful. It reminds me on my worth and my position in the world. I don't know about you guys. You can share with me about that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't I teach affirmations, but I don't always do them. For me, it is just kind of bringing myself meditation helps. Bringing myself back to like what is happening right now, what is happening in my body. Um, so meditation is one thing I do, and just trying to when I journal, I'm really mindful about when I journal and what is coming out of my thoughts.
For me, I was very, and I will admit this about myself. I was very judgmental. Like if something I didn't agree with something, I judge it. And what I'm doing now, being more mindful of that, is I'm not judging things as much. What I'm doing now is being the best version instead of fighting it with words, whatever it is I disagree with. I'm fighting it with how I live my life. Like I'm not judging I'm just going to be the best version of what I think I should be. And that's how I'm mindful. That's the mindfulness that I kind of carry around. Like I'm not gonna, I don't like what's going on over here, but instead of saying I don't like it, I'm just gonna my life is going to show how I am opposed to whatever that is. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I've been doing. Instead of like getting mad about, I remember making a comment one time. I heard a female rapper say something, and I said out loud, and she is just so disrespectful. She's embarrassing black people. That's what I said. And the young lady that was in the room with me that heard me say that, she said, no, she's embarrassing herself. You're taking it too personal. That's not you. She doesn't represent you. So instead of being so judgmental in that kind of way, instead of saying those kind of things, I say, okay, well, I'm going to be, when they see Jeff walk into a room, they're not going to see that.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're not going to see that. I'm going to exemplify what I think a human being should be about. Instead of focusing on what other people are doing, I'm just going to be the focus, and I'm going to be as bright a light as I can be. Instead of just throwing shade on other people, I'm just going to be as bright a light as. So that's my mindfulness. That's how I had to kind of check myself. Like, don't be judgmental. You don't agree with something, that's fine, but live your life in a way that shows that you don't agree with what you're seeing. So I don't know if
Mm,
that's what I've been doing.
I love that, Jeffrey. All right, let's see if our new friend can get on here and introduce himself. All right, just unmute whenever you can.
I had WhatsApped him. I sent him a message on WhatsApp
Okay.
and told him to mute his video and join in with the audio. I don't know the problem, but I've just sent him another direct message. If he
Okay.
can mute the video, you recall those days when we
Yeah.
had just started? I had issues like this, but when
Yeah.
I muted the video, I would easily get here, you guys,
Okay.
and speak to you as well.
Maybe we can do it now. I'm gonna
I
stop.
think you can call him, talk to him.
All right, you want to give it a go and introduce yourself? Okay, I'm gonna stop your video and see if that helps. Well, that didn't work. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, I think he has to do it.
Yeah.
Abdo, Abdo. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing the name right.
Yeah.
A friend from Morocco, you can talk to us.
You can always type in the chat too, if you want to.
Let me see.
Okay. So, Neil, do you want to share with us how you practice mindfulness daily?
Yeah. I mean, it's just self-thought, if that makes sense. Just trying to set my intentions for the day through mindfulness as far as, um, just trying to, one of my biggest things is listening or not listening and reacting without kind of thinking. So it's just kind of my mindfulness each day of trying to, take my time, um, listen through what's being said versus up in the middle of the conversation and, making an appointment. So it sounds very introverted as far as just kind of about me, but that's kind of where my mindfulness comes from. Just trying to, um, just trying to be mindful of how my actions impact other people and my words, especially. So it's kind of how I try.
No, I think that's important too, kind of because, like Jeffrey said, all we can do is control ourselves
Yeah.
and what we do and how we carry who we are out into the world. So, I think that's an excellent way of being mindful. I think when you practice like the physical ways of being mindful, like the other stuff seems to fall in place, right?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And then then you flip the
I
version.
think I think I've just sent him a message on WhatsApp.
Okay.
I think he can hear us. If you can call out on him, and we see whether we shall get him.
Yeah, let's hear what you have to say. I- I'm terrible at his name. Abdul Bast. It's okay. He's here and listening, and so he's practicing mindfulness with us. And you can always type in the chat what you want to share with us, and then hopefully next month you can have your video and your conversation, your voice heard a little better. Noah, do you have anything you want to say? Chat, or you can text me even if you want to talk about mindfulness. I'm not calling Noah out, but Noah likes to tick off tasks and not be very detail oriented. And so practicing mindfulness and in everything that he does would benefit him. And he knows this because we've talked about it before. He does things very well and he gets a lot of stuff accomplished, but sometimes he misses those little details. And he's working on it. I can tend to do that too. Like if I'm reading something, sometimes I scan it and I don't really read it and take in every detail. So I think that's a good lesson for me also, is to take the time to look at all the details so I don't miss the good parts or the little parts that make the rest of the parts work. Does that make sense?
Another thing about mindfulness too, it'll show you how much you don't know, how much you still have to learn. So that's a good thing about mindfulness too, that it makes you reflect. If you really are reflecting honestly, you start seeing that there's a whole lot of holes in your armor that you need to work on. So mindfulness is good about self-reflection too.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's a good point, Jeffrey, because like if you have a conversation, somebody's like, but I just said, and I'm like, wait, I didn't hear you say that. It's like, bring yourself back to the conversation, or
Mm.
or were you ever present in that conversation in the first place? So let's see what Jimmy says. The conversation is interesting. However, I have to head out a little bit. I would like you guys to excuse me. I believe I will be catching up with you guys later on WhatsApp. Well, thank you, Jimmy. I'm glad you got to be here with us, and you always have such wisdom to share.
Yeah, good seeing you always.
Yes. And we'll look forward to that podcast that you're working on too.
Thank you for having me.
Always.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for having me. I will share with you the details. I'll be working on that in a while. I'll be inviting you guys and other friends of yours to come through at the show. We are growing big every day.
Yes.
We're getting more people around the world coming through to the podcast shows. And I'm having the blog. I'll share with you the blog. It's a very good blog called Bookland. We're having
Yeah.
articles there, a lot of journalists. And you guys, I'll see how I can even post some of your books. I saw Jeffrey's having his second novel. He's working on his second novel.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud
Thank
of
you.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. Wish you a good time and a blessed time.
Always. Thank you, Jimmy. Bye. So does anybody else have anything else they want to add to this conversation? I had something flash through my mind and then it's gone.
As always, it's always a great conversation, you know. So,
Yeah. Now, the other thing is, and Jeffrey and I have talked about this too, is how traveling really requires you to be mindful because, and this is like the first day I was in Morocco, I left my riad and went to get dinner. And when I started back, I was like, oh, wait, I don't know which road I turned up.
mm,
And so I was very mindful after that. Like once I found where I was, I like took pictures of the alleyway so I could recognize it and which gate was there and um, pinned it on my GPS so I didn't have to struggle like that again. So being mindful of where you are because
mhm.
this is a place you've never been before. So traveling requires you to do that, but also being mindful of how you interact with a culture that is not your own.
Yes, exactly. That
So,
that's very important. People really quick. I was taking martial arts with this guy he was from the Middle East, I think Iran, but he lived in maybe I told this story before. His family lived in France, and he said that the Americans he spoke English, of course, but when the Americans would come in, because of his uh past with the Americans that were traveling, he would pretend like he didn't speak English because they were so rude and so dictatorial, and they run and so his philosophy on travel was, if you can't come to a different country with an open mind, just buy a National Geographic and stay home. Because if you don't come with an open mind, you're not going to learn anything. You're just going to go there with your own mindset, thinking that you're at home when you're not. He said, you have to have an open mind to travel. That's how you learn.
absolutely.
If not, you can go all around the world 50 times and be the same person when you go back home. I was like, that's such a good point that you have to be mindful when you go other places. Respect those cultures, whether you agree with them or not. Respect those and learn from them, and take it from there. But you can't travel and not have an open mind. You can, but you won't learn anything.
Right.
We'll stay home and look at it in a magazine because you're getting as much out of that as you are traveling because you don't have an open mind when you go to different places. So respect where you go, and then
Yeah.
you can learn from it. You become a student of where you go.
I learned so much from the Moroccan people and the Balinese that after traveling, and even the French, um, the places that we've been. So I strongly suggest that people travel to different lands, and I mean, even going north in North America
Yeah.
is a whole different culture than here in the South.
Definitely.
So yeah, I think that's very important. And I strongly recommend people travel and explore different cultures and meet different people because, this is what we're trying to drive home to people is we're all the same. We just have different experiences.
Yeah.
But emotionally and physically and mentally, we all need the same things. And mostly we need love and understanding and connection.
Connection. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Social beings, and social beings should know how to interact with the other social beings. One of my before I leave this planet, I hope And besides seeing a bunch of countries, I hope that I can start a program. Maybe I may not see it through its completion, but where not just youth begin to travel and be introduced to traveling much earlier than I was. I always wanted to. I read about it, but I didn't go until I was into my adulthood. But I think it's so important for youth to get out of their 20-mile radius that they're comfortable with and see other things. I think that's not just youth, people, period.
People,
People,
yeah.
yeah, people, period. Not go
There's
to
so
the
much
same
to learn.
places. Yeah, there's so much to learn from other people. There really
Okay.
is, but you have to go. Instead of going to Las Vegas 20 times a year, make one of those trips outside of something that you're familiar with. And people tend to, when they do travel, they go to the same places all the time. And
Mm-hmm.
I kind of have a problem with that. See something different. It's such a beautiful world. We just got to find the beauty in it.
I agree. Got to look for it.
Gotta look for it.
You got to look for it. Yeah. 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 Jeffrey,
Hi everyone.
there you are.
Yeah, before I have the problem of the connection, that one. And my
We are
phone
glad
is
you're
not
here.
high phone. That why I don't make it the right call.
Well, that's okay. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, of course. I'm Abdul Bast. I was born in Marrakesh. I'm 24 years and well, plot.
Yeah, you're still cutting in and out, but try your best.
Yeah, okay. My name is Abdul Bast. Second name is El Kordaji. I live in Marrakesh. I was born here
Mm.
and uh, uh, I'm in 24 year. And Arabic is my mother tongue.
Mm.
English is my favorite language. The French also. And what all?
Yeah, we met in the street and he was helping me with some directions.
Yeah. Before that is before a long time. Yeah, that is the first to see when I get you. That is it. I get you on the street, you are lost about your Riyadh. Then you ask me about the name. Then I take you to the right place. Yeah.
Yes, you did, and I was very grateful.
We get because you know why we make that because me I was born here in Marrakesh, and what's happened for the tourists, we know a lot something you never see it by your eyes. That's why always we like to make the people happy because here in Morocco it's not nobody give like the right picture.
Mm.
And in any place in the world you will get some good people and some bad people.
Yes.
And when I get you the first time, I don't want to see to get something bad after me when you know with me. That's why I'm always talk with you on the phone and too much to explain.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and let's relate that back to mindfulness, is that you were mindful of looking for the or being aware of the wandering lost tourist. You
Yeah,
were
yeah, here because here in Marrakesh, look, the people here are looking only for the money, only for what he get.
Yes.
We don't looking for like if he gets some good contacts to change for him life.
Mhm.
Right.
And like me if I need maybe like in the future if I need something the God He will send to me, who helped me, like when you gave me the first time.
Mhm.
Yes.
You understand what I mean?
Yes.
It's like that. And me, about me, I talk about myself like to make the people happy.
Mm.
Because if we are not about us, we can make it for second body.
You're right.
And
You're
sorry about my English. It's not high English.
Okay.
please, you know, I did have several people along my journeys apologize to me for their lack of fluency in English. And I am just in awe that you can speak 2 and 3 languages. I can't speak 2 and 3 languages. I speak a tiny bit of French. So honestly, there's no apology necessary because I'm in awe of everybody that is not American who speaks 3, 4, 7 languages. It blows me away.
Yeah.
That's nice. But look, like you know, like me, I'm like now my the Arabic is my mother tongue. If I want, if I want understand any language, I can make it.
Yes.
That,
Uh,
but if the most difficult is the Arabic. Oh, somebody like you want to take the Arabic, you will get the Arabic very difficult. But like me, if I want like talk in Italy, Spain, Japanese, any language, I can writing to see. Then I make the traduction between the writing and the writing.
Mm.
Like that,
uh,
I can give the people like to understand something or some.
Mm.
I don't know
So you're saying that Arabic makes learning other languages easier because it's so difficult? It's so
which
hard?
one.
Does Arabic make learning other languages easier because Arabic is so difficult to learn?
Yeah, Arabic. You can traduction. You never can traduction to the second language, the
Oh,
real Arabic. You
oh.
will get only. You will get only like like the subject.
Mm.
so
Okay.
you can't learn deep Arabic like that, just ingrained Arabic if you're learning it as a second language. Is that what you're saying? Because it is very intricate and detailed. I mean,
Which
I
one?
listen. Yeah, go ahead. I mean, listen to several Arabic conversations, and of course, I'm completely lost. And when I listen to French, I can pick words out, but the Arabic language, I have no clue what's going on. But it's such a beautiful language.
The Arabic. If you want to learn this language, it give you the easy something you need. You need to take the alphabetic the first.
Ah, okay.
If you take the alphabetic and you got it in your mind, like that, you will try to learn.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know if my old brain can go there, but I would love to hear it. Start have a little few a little few phrases that I could say. I think
Yeah.
shukran is the one that I got, which
Shukran.
is thank you, right?
Thank you. Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yes,
Yeah,
I did get that one. But I was grateful that so many people speak French there too, because I had at least say bonjour and merci.
exactly.
Yeah.
But but the most important, you know what is it?
What is
The
it?
science, the science, the science of the talk.
Okay, could you say that again?
Science for talk,
Thought. Yeah.
for talk. It's
Okay.
like it's like is you know it's you know what you mean science.
Yeah.
I think
No.
so.
Science
Science?
Science of the
Sci-
talk.
Science of the thought.
Talk.
Talk. Science of the talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you want to explain that a
That
little
is
more?
the most important. Me, I am looking for that
Okay. I'm gonna
because
have to.
that he make we give something by psychic. You understand?
Say it again.
I said the science of the talk. You
So it's
can look. I will writing that after. I will send it in a message.
Okay. Tell me
send
if
it-
I'm. Did you get that, Jeffrey?
I think he said he'd send it in a message.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what he said.
1 second.
Okay. Take your time.
1 second.
Put my eyeballs on so I can read. What I am thinking about is that if you're saying science of the talk,
Like etymology, right? Etymology is the study of language, isn't it? I
oh,
wonder
I'm
if you
not sure.
think that's what it's really language is very interesting.
It is very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I and this may be totally off,
Yeah,
but
I will give it.
I am thinking that inflection and body language
Mhm.
is part of the science of talk.
Yeah, definitely.
The science of habit.
I did. Oh, what is I did?
What is habit? Habit, maybe? Let me see if I can Google that. Science talk.
Oh, okay.
You
So
understand
you're
Yeah.
interested in
what I mean?
science. Do you take classes around this? Maybe it's time.
You know what I mean?
Not really. Are you
No.
are you talking about
Onyx.
science in regards to language or
Eh,
studying science?
No, that is it's science of the talk.
Okay.
Is that is something very high than me.
Mhm.
I can understand
You
that.
have a position there. I got. You know where I get that? I get it in a hospital
Hmm.
Okay.
because
You
it
know,
explains something that I don't know how to explain.
Hmm.
okay. Well, that's okay. You know, I want to invite you to, can you write about it? And then we can put it on
Which
our,
one?
can you write about what you're trying to say about science talk? Would you want to write like
Yeah.
a blog post or a paper about it and send it to me so I can put it on our website? Would you be interested in doing that?
Okay.
I'll send you my
Okay.
email because
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I'm not exactly sure. And but I'm interested in learning more about what you're getting at.
That is, if you wanna talk, we just talk. We need to be doctor.
Right, that's true.
True. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
You're right.
Mhm.
You're right.
Because
Commu-
I'm doctor before. You see, for me, you are amazing. Cause me, I help myself by myself.
yes.
When I get the malady, without doctor, without what is it name? Without medicament, without nothing, and you find me correct one, and he tell me you are amazing boy. That was it. Tell me, believe me.
I can see that. I
Cause
love
and look, before I'm going to see doctor of the psycho, the, the psycho, the psycho, and when he talk with me, I say for him, what science you talk about, and he start to say bad something. I tell him, oh, you are not right, doctor. Then I got it myself. I'm very good, and then I'm not, a lot to explain.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's it. And because now is the first time, and I don't know how to move the application, and my phone it's not high phone. It's coming a little bit heavy with the connection. That's what I.
And that's
But
okay.
the second time it will be better than now.
Yeah,
Yes.
good. We're glad
Inshallah.
you're here. I'm glad you came through. I'm
Yeah.
glad you stopped by. Come
That's
back.
Yeah.
good. Yeah. So our next talk is, let me look at the date. August 17th. And that talk is going to be about grief,
Mm.
about dealing with loss and how people deal with loss and different ways that we can support each other through our grief. So that will be a very good conversation. So I hope people invite other people because we all have dealt with grief in some way, shape, form, or fashion, even if it's not the loss of a loved one. So I definitely look forward to that conversation, August 17th. So if no one else has anything else they'd like to add, we will close for today. And just so grateful for everyone who showed up and talked and shared their story and their wisdom about mindfulness and life.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. And as always,
Yep,
keep
so
loving yourself.
gotta do it. You can't love anybody else if you don't love yourself first. You can pretend
Absolutely.
to do it if you don't love yourself. You gotta love yourself.
Gotta love yourself. All right. Until August 17th, y'all take care.
Take care. All right. See you there, Neil.
He's already jumped off.
Okay. All right. Take care, Karen. All right,
Bye.
you're my Morocco friend.
Yes.
Take care.
Yes, son.
Come back. Make sure you come back.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
I
Yeah, yeah.
want to come to Morocco one day. So yeah, keep coming back.
You're